our scheduled committee of the whole. Village of Tinley Park, Cook and Will County, Illinois, held on Tuesday, November 19, 2024, beginning at 5:58 p.m. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Brady?
Here.
Trustee Brennan?
Present.
Trustee Mahoney? Absent. Trustee Mueller?
Here.
Trustee Shaw?
Present.
Trustee Sullivan?
Here.
President Claus?
Present. Number 3, is there a motion to consider approval of the minutes of the special committee of the whole meeting held on November 6th?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Roll call for item 3, Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next, we have item number 4, discuss review of tax levy and abatements. Staff, is there anything to add for item 4?
No, sir, just looking for direction on what way the board would like to go as it relates to the tax levy.
Okay, anyone, wanna go?
Yeah, thanks for putting this all together, Hannah. I don't think that these are easy choices for us to make. Based on where we're at, fiscally and the challenges that I see ahead of us, I think I'd be fully supportive of option 2B. But that's kind of where I stand with the prior extended plus the increase for the police pension. That police pension fund keeps being a thorn in our side in terms of just the responsibility that it puts on us financially. So I'd be comfortable increasing the levy by that police pension amount as well.
Anyone else?
Just a reminder, we did not increase the police pension last year. That was 2 years ago, correct?
Correct, yes. We held it would be option 1A is what it was at last year. We did not increase it to cover
And-
police pension.
Okay.
Yep.
So it is something that we
You know,
can't just, go ahead.
so it's a tricky question, tricky answer. Yes, we covered the police pension. What we did was, because of all the extra revenue that's coming in, instead of raising the taxes, we use the extra revenue that's coming in instead of giving it to staff to use for other, like, the general fund or stuff like that. So yes, we did cover it. We just didn't increase it. All the other taxing bodies did 5% increase across the board. We did a 0%, because we knew everyone else was gonna do that. Then you had the assessor's office did that huge increase to everyone, so the village of Tinley Park chose to not be part of the solution, not be part of the problem. So for option 1B, if we did that, usually we get like some type of percentage if we did that. There's nothing, what would that equate to if we did 1B?
That's a good question. I would have to just run the numbers really quick. It would be a minimal percentage. Only 600, I don't wanna say only, it's still a significant amount, 654,000. So I can pull that together really quickly for you and get back to you.
Can you explain really quick for anyone else has any comments, why is there a $654,000 or $164,000 increase to the pension?
So that would be, that's based on an actuarial calculation that's done for our police pension costs. So every year we have the actuaries look at, they do their due diligence, look at salaries and our pension liabilities that we have. And in order to ensure that our pension remains well-funded, ultimately, is it by 2040, they're supposed to be at 100%, Mike, correct? Yeah. By 2040, there's state law that all police pensions are supposed to be 100% funded. So that increase gets us closer and closer to that funding number that we have to hit.
Okay, but, like if you're reading top of the memo too, but they're part of the downstate pension now.
Correct, yep.
And so one of the lines, if everyone read that, it says over the past 2 years, this pension requirement increased
30%.
30%. So it's nothing we can do about it, it's downstate pension. But again, at the end of the day, the 654, in this it says the 654,000 is a 13.6% increase from the amount levied in 2023. So we kind of for anyone to make a decision, I'm fine with going with 1B. But it'd be nice to know what is that percentage, if there is one, because it's such a small amount.
Yeah.
It can't equate to very much. Are there any other comments from anyone?
I'll add in there. My gut would be leaning towards just 1A, just straight 0 across the board. But I do agree with Trustee Mueller and Mayor Glatz that we do need to be responsible here and cover the police pension increase, whether it's under our control or not, we have to cover it. So for that reason, I would be leaning towards 1B myself.
But again, if the sales taxes are up and the real estate taxes are up, the more that they charge, the more it goes to the municipality as well, that the assessor charges. It's covering that. Alls it does is just doesn't allow, it'll be covered, it just doesn't allow them, by increasing it 654,000, basically, we're awarding another 654,000 to the budget to be used however it wants, instead of just being fiscally responsible.
I recognize that.
I'm sorry?
I recognize that. That's why I would lean, as I said, towards 1A, but I think this is splitting the difference. And we don't necessarily have a guarantee that revenues will increase or even stay steady for that matter. And I think we've done a really good job as a community here, as staff and the board, of being responsible, fiscally responsible in general, and there's been a lot of effort put into looking for opportunities to either not increase something or even hold back an increase, even cut, or just forego an expense altogether. So I think there's a lot of good work that's been done. I think there's still an opportunity to go even further as we get our new ERP system online. Things are more sophisticated. We can do a much better job of tracking things and looking at our spend in a much more granular detail. So I'm optimistic that in the coming year, we're gonna be able to find pockets of ability to save, as well as optimistic that we're gonna hit with a lot of things, so we're gonna increase it. I think going with 1B, and I realize to a degree, Mike, it's like from this pocket to this pocket, right? Just because we have that available for the general fund or general spending, doesn't mean we have to spend it either, right? So that was a long way around to say 1B.
And also too, to add to it, like Amazon's not even part of the revenue that we're bringing in for this fiscal year, correct?
So it will be. The state did
But for this
end up
past
pushing
year,
it back, right.
But for this,
We didn't
since they've been
account for
open,
it.
everything is all extra. So if you look at all before this administration, before our administration got in, all the vacancies that existed throughout the town that we filled, you're more than covering it, in my opinion. But anyhow,
Harlem is unrecognizable from what it was.
Harlem has changed from 3 years ago before,
Yeah.
5 years ago before we all got in.
I-
Especially with the downtown area too. Look at how that's all growing.
Right. I'll just, I guess, I'd be leaning towards 1B, covering this police pension. 1A or 1B for me. It is disappointing to see that, big 30% number. I assume that's just us being pushed into a fund to kind of cover some of the underperforming other pension funds that aren't kind of pulling their weight. Would that be accurate?
And however, the fund itself is performing, because you have the demand, you have to pay whatever you have to pay. And so if it underperforms, then the members have to pay more to make up the difference for the market change.
So,
You're essentially an insurer to the amount of money that's due regardless of the market.
so I'd be leaning towards 1B. That's my prerogative right now.
Trustee Sullivan, anything else?
No, nothing else.
Trustee Brady?
I'll go along with my learned colleagues to go with 1B.
Okay. Do you have that calculation?
I believe it's 2.675,
2.675?
2.68.
2.68, yeah.
So it's a small number. It seems like a high percentage.
It is a high percentage.
For a
'Cause
small
Usually
number.
everyone does 5%. We're more than halfway there. Again, I'm gonna stick to my original thing. Someone could make a motion for whatever option. I would recommend to the board that you stick with option 1A. We've done more than bring revenue, and sales tax and real estate taxes by filling in these vacancies. Every time there's a vacancy, the assessor reduces the tax basically down to nothing, right? There was one building, I remember the tax it went from like 110,000 to like, I think it was 12,000 because it was vacant. Actually, I believe it was I can't think of the name, my gosh, the building across from the VFW.
Oh, Springford Hall?
The Springford Hall. So, and now that it's all full, that went from whatever that 10,000 up to like the 110,000. And so, we're doing a great job, staff's doing a great job filling in those gaps. 2.67%, when everyone else is gonna do a 5%, I think is not the right decision, but it's up to you guys. I recommend you stick to the 1A.
I don't think she's asking for a motion today at all. It's just guidance before the meeting on December 17th. I think we all agree we're gonna stay below the 5%.
You don't need a motion to move it to the next board meeting?
I do, because we
Yeah.
need to know at the next, so.
They
we
do
can
because they
discuss
have
it
to have
again
all
at
the
next board
calculations
meeting.
done.
We can have it discussed at the next call if you'd like to, but the intent was to have it approved at the village board meeting on December 17th.
Right.
Well, as I said up front, I was leaning towards 1A to begin with, but I think it's worthy of discussion. You're making a compelling argument there, Mayor Glatz. And I think there's a little bit of time for us to consider this and weigh it back and forth. If we end up on 1B, so be it. But I was leaning towards 1A to begin with, and so I'm on the fence with either one. I think there's a good argument to be had on either side. So, any other thoughts on that? I mean,
Anyone else? So, someone, do you want to table it to the next meeting?
What's the motion that you need, just so I'm clear?
I'm looking for direction on which option they would like, so that way the ordinance itself for the levy approval
Didn't know which
states the
option.
correct number.
So it's like the estimate of levy, is that what you're trying to comply with?
Yeah.
So couldn't they just give a rough estimate of levy, because you can adopt a different amount, so that they don't have to take a position and a vote today on A or B?
We
They
can go that route if they want.
Just say the estimate, vote to estimate the levy and do it at whatever option A is?
Sure, we can do that.
And then if, that way, they could change it in the future if they want, but that, because today is just the estimate, and you could change the estimate down the road.
Okay, so you could just-
That way, you don't have to take a vote on any increases until you decide and think about it.
Is there a motion by anyone?
So you need a motion for
You would-
options?
I think you would just say a motion to ascertain the estimate of the village's tax levy at the
Option 1A.
total amount of $24,449,416.
Make a motion to what he said.
What he
Write
said.
that on my.
Yeah.
Option
I'll make a
What he
motion what
said.
he said.
You're
say
making a
1A.
motion for option 1A.
Yeah.
I would like to make a motion for option 1A
There you go.
And you want to list the amount?
in the amount of $24,449,416.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
Okay. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call for item 4, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
The motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Hannah. And again, just the record reflect, the board is is at this time choosing to move with option 1A of not raising the tax levy once again for the second year in a row. Item 5. Hannah, do you want to take that one, or do you want me? Or I'll just,
So like, I'm sorry.
so item 5 is the smoke pit, which is going in, if everyone remembers, from the Fratello's restaurant there, 183rd in front of the convention center. Are there any questions for that?
Is the petitioner here? Welcome.
Hello, hello. Welcome. Did you guys want to speak?
Hello, everyone. My name is Shalonda Hardy. I am part owner of All Out Smoke Pit. That's my husband back there, Antoine Hardy. He is also owner of All Out Smoke Pit. We are currently in Park Forest now. We have a brick and mortar there where we serve brisket, pulled pork, rib tips, slabs, homemade macaroni and cheese, yams, greens, different items like that. And we are truly excited and looking forward to bringing that over here to you guys and growing our brand and our business.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Thank you.
When would you plan on opening?
Our plan date is the beginning of next year. We don't have an actual date, but we're looking somewhere February, March, just depending on how long the build out takes. It's not a full one, but certain things that we need to do to recreate the restaurant how we want it.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.
I don't really have a question, but I have a comment that you can sit back down.
Okay.
I mean, I just said, I looked you guys up and I looked at the reviews and all that and looked at the menu and I was just very excited about that. I think it's gonna be a good addition, so,
And a great location.
yes.
Yeah. We need a good barbecue restaurant. Yeah, we do.
Yes.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion, to move the liquor license for All Out Smoke, I believe, to the village board meeting.
I'll second it.
Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Roll call for item 5, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You got one more vote to get through at the board.
You guys gonna be open after the speed?
Samples?
Item 6, discuss contract with Samsara for Public Works Vehicle Camera Service. Are there any questions for the vehicle cameras for $13,000? Nope. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call for item 6, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.
Went all the way under the budget there, John.
Next, item 7.
We're gonna do it.
Discuss a professional service supplemental agreement with Robinson Engineering Services Limited for 175th Street. Are there any questions? Is there a motion for item 7?
I'll make a motion to move item number 7 to the village board.
I will second that.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call for item 7, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have item 8. Discuss a professional service agreement with Christopher Burke Engineering for Post 2 electrical lift station improvements. Are there any questions for John Urbanski's lift station?
Pump station.
Same thing for him.
Lift station.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a
I'll make a
motion to
motion.
move this to the
I'll second
village
it.
board.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call for item 8, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have item number 9. Discuss a professional service agreement with Christopher Burke Engineering for post 17 and 19 improvements engineering services. Are there any questions for post 17 and 19? Is there a motion for item 9?
I'll make the motion.
I will second.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call for item 9, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have item number 10. Discuss amending chapter 91 of the village code related to animals. Would anyone like to ask Chief Tilton any questions about animals.
Dangerous.
To allow him to have cats in his office.
Not dangerous cats.
It's a
though.
little
Thought you were getting
vague.
Ron back.
With that, I wish I could, yeah. But this is just gonna clean up some language and some definitions and describe a process by which, in the event that this is necessary, that owners can relinquish their pets so that they can be put down and if that becomes necessary.
Okay. Which section includes the cats in your office in case they want to change it?
Oh, yeah, and the cats.
Is there a motion for item number 10?
I'll make a
Or any
motion.
actually, is there any questions first for Chief on his animals?
Is this just to get ahead of it, or are you, has you had problems?
Well, I'm sorry?
Is this just to get ahead of a
Yes.
problem? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we don't have a process described right now, and we've had 3 incidents in the last year where that came into play. But this will just basically give us a written directive to our officer and the animal control people on exactly the way this needs to happen.
Okay, good.
Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll for item number 10.
Roll call for item 10, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Item number 11, public comment. Would anyone like to address the board or on the committee of the whole in the public comment section? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening.
Evening.
My name is Robin Flowers. I have been a resident here in Tinley Park for, I don't want to say my age, but a very long time. How's that? I'm also an active member with the Main Street Association of Realtors. And on behalf of the 40,000 realtors in Cook County, we are requesting a review and a delay of an implementation of the real estate transfer stamp. Home rule municipalities are not legally authorized to implement a real estate transfer tax nor stamp without seeking voter approval. The mayor has stated that the transfer stamp will not include a tax, which we appreciate, as additional costs to close can be harmful. However, after careful review, discussion with members, and consultation with our legal department, a home rule municipality must pass a ballot referendum for a transfer stamp with or without a tax associated with the process. The mayor has, I'm going to move down here, to clearly state for a municipality to impose the transfer stamp process, the requirement to pay a fee or unpaid taxes is defined by statute, a real estate transfer tax requiring voter approval through a referendum. We do offer a clear solution. Multiple state statutes spell out specific processes and recording requirements that allow a municipality to enforce a lien on a property for an existing debt. Many of these statutes expressly state that unless the municipal lien is recorded, it does not have priority over any other properly recorded lien. These statutory requirements ensure potential purchasers are given fair notice and fair priority when it comes to enforcement of all debts that may be attached to the property. The lien process protects buyers from the sticker shock at or near the closing table of unpaid bills from a previous owner. Significant delays in transactions have occurred in other municipalities that have attempted to implement similar transfer stamp requirements. For those reasons, the realtors request that the village review and delay the implementation of the real estate transfer stamp. The real estate transfer stamp process itself is grounds for future litigation for the village, as it is not simply specifically authorized in state law. To implement a real estate transfer stamp with or without a tax, a ballot referendum is required by state law. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
I remember this item. Thank you for mentioning that we didn't want to charge a tax for it. Couple things. One, back then, when that was discussed, I was not here the first meeting. We had a different law firm. Our law firm now is Delgado Law Group, who actually, congratulations, he won Southland's best attorney. I think that only applies to non-rural communities, but if you could, whatever the document you're reading, could you please have either your attorney or yourself send it to our village manager? Lisa in the back will give you his email, and then he could send it to our village attorney, and then he could look into it.
I believe that a letter was sent to all the trustees and yourself, Mr. Mayor. If you would like to forward it, that would be great, or we can send it.
How long ago?
Yeah, we got it today at 5:15.
Oh, that's why I didn't see it.
You're already here.
Did you just include the board, or did you include staff?
I believe just the board, but we can, if you
Can
would
anyone-
like, we can
I
send
can
it
forward
the
it on
staff
to
as
Pat.
well.
Perfect. So trustee Mueller, can you just check, are you sure they're not on it?
I'm gonna check that.
Okay. So trustee Mueller will send it to our attorney and our staff.
Yeah.
And then once someone could get back to you on that. So thank you. Any other public comment for the committee of the whole? No. Is there a motion to adjourn the committee of the whole?
I'll happily make that motion.
I'll second it.
I will second.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Roll call for adjournment, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. We will start the village board meeting immediately.